Welcome to the Everything Cancer podcast. This podcast is intended for survivors, those who love them, healthcare providers, and cancer support organizations. Our guests offer insight into the honest survivor experience, how challenges are met head-on, and where blessings are discovered. We cover effective self-advocacy on the bumpy road of cancer survivorship from the moment of diagnosis on. We talk about rekindling intimacy when cancer has changed your world. We are given behind the scenes insight into cancer care because understanding it better empowers you to advocate for yourself more effectively. We hear from leaders of cancer support organizations about their resources and how to access them or those like them. The Everything Cancer podcast welcomes survivors who would like to share their journey and how they have met their challenges, providers who would like to share their empowering insight, and leaders of cancer support organizations who would like to share their stories and resources. We welcome support through sponsors, the Everything Cancer website, and our Patreon page. Please note the information shared on the Everything Cancer podcast is not intended as medical advice. Please always consult with your healthcare team. The staff at Everything Cancer podcast will not answer individual healthcare concern questions. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you enjoy this episode and find it useful. Please do share it with other people if you think they'll benefit from it, and rate us on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks and take care. Welcome to the Everything Cancer podcast. We are so happy to have you here with us today. We have an interesting guest with us, Dr. Rajiv Saini. He is a fascinating person who found me on LinkedIn. He is by training a dentist and periodontist, and he is also Harvard trained in healthcare operations. Also is the chief science officer with H2 Ocean, the natural sea salt oral care product, which I happen to love. But he's here to talk about oral care, which is so important, not only while you're receiving treatment, but also during the entire continuum of survivorship care. Take good care of yourself because good mouth care also is good health care, but also it's a part of good self-image and feeling good about yourself, which is so important during survivorship. Dr. Saini, please introduce yourself, your background, and let's just go on from there, why this is so important to you.
First of all, thank you, Jill, for inviting me to your podcast. And I must appreciate all the wonderful work you are doing towards cancer survivorship and making all this magic happen, which creates a lot of synergy towards hope and resilience towards cancer patients. I'm a dentist periodontist by training with an extensive experience in clinical research, spent more than decades in academic as well as R&D consulting to various corporate point of view. I have published a lot of clinical research with 175 plus clinical research papers and 5 books I have published. I have also graduated from Harvard Medical Schools in healthcare operations. And currently I am working in a position of Chief Scientific Officer for a company, H2 Ocean, which is the number 1 patented sea salt-based skincare company in the world. And we are here to discuss all the great things you require in order to maintain your good oral health. And that's how it is connected to your overall systemic health and how the role of sea salt and the minerals play in managing the oral side effects of the cancer treatment.
And not just cancer treatment, but like you just said, good oral health, whether or not you're actively receiving treatment, really ties into good health all around. And also, we all feel better when our mouth feels better. So that helps you feel better through your day and gives you more energy.
Right.
Because we all know when you have a sore in your mouth or something's going on, it pulls your energy away. And one of the biggest things that people deal with in survivorship is fatigue. And so if you have something going on with your mouth, that certainly adds to your sense of fatigue. Directly dealing with treatment issues, what happens that causes sores in your mouth when you're receiving chemotherapy or radiation therapy?
Well, when you're receiving chemotherapy or radiation therapy, the the oral mucosa inside your mouth is highly sensitive, and the cells get damaged and shrunken, and due to which your oral cavity becomes very susceptible to infections, inflammation, and related consequences that directly affects the quality of your life. So when you are going with the active treatment part of your radiation or chemotherapy, your oral skin becomes highly sensitive, highly inflamed, and there is high chances because of the dry mouth and lack of salivation. The chances of getting oral infection is very, very high, and you always feel the dryness, the metallic taste, the alteration in your eating habits because of lack of salivation, difficulty in eating and swallowing is always there. So that's a huge kind of a oral side effects usually happens when you have going with an active treatment cycle.
So the frequent mouth care is very important, which is rinsing in the morning and at night, and then obviously after every meal, correct?
Practicing good mouth really involves regular brushing with a soft bristle toothbrush so that you cannot damage your oral mucosa because of the sensitivity involved with the treatment, and always using alcohol free mouthwashes. I mean, that's a huge thing, because if you use the mouthwashes that are colorful, containing preservatives, chemicals, alcohols, dyes, it's going to irritate your oral mucosa a lot. And when you are already immunocompromised, going with active treatment, and your blood count is low, so it's very important to use, the gentle but powerful mouth rinses that not only gives you a soothing effect, but also helps in healing and getting your mouth and oral cavity balanced towards the pH, towards mineralization, and that's why it is very, very important to diligently choose your oral care products.
And then some radiation to the head and neck, and then whole body radiation and certain chemotherapy agents can actually also cause sores to develop in the mouth, which rinsing is oftentimes considered the optimal way to help those sores heal the most quickly and also to prevent infection. And it's the salt-based rinses that are considered the most effective. Can you explain that and why you feel sea salt is most optimal for that?
Yes, you are 100% right, Jill. I mean, rinses plays a very significant role when you're trying to keep your oral cavity up to the marks, especially when you are going through the treatment related to cancer. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it's very important to choose the mouthwash in a right perspective so that we can have the best results and the best outcomes of the oral cavity and a good oral health. I mean, coming back, how should I choose as a patient? Like, what should I figure out in terms of mouthwash, right? So there are multiple ways. People often get confused, and so I just want to make it very simple and clear. So the number one thing is that to avoid all alcohol-based mouth rinses. So that's absolutely highly irritating. That will cause a burning sensation and absolutely not good for the oral cavity in general. And during the treatment, it's 100% no. And also, it contains dyes, colors, chemicals, preservatives, and so on. Now, all the oncology based hospitals, all the dentists, everybody recommends to use salt rinses as a part of your oral health regime in order to maintain your good oral health. It helps in reduce inflammation, right? And it's our grandma recipes to use warm water salt rinse, right? Since ages, to help in inflammation, to manage sores, to manage ulcers. But the irony is that the home-based salt rinse is not so effective. It only contains two elements, sodium and chloride, and also you don't know the ratio of water to salt, right? We don't know what kind of water we are using. We don't know how to, balance the salt water rinse in terms of concentration. You can make it less salty, you can make it more salty. The balance, how to maintain the salt balance. So in that scenario, the best option is to go for industry standard, which is considered as a gold standard in terms of what salt rinse should I prefer. Salts, in fact, there's a huge variety of salts in the marketplace right now, but in terms of mineralization is concerned, the number of minerals in a salt and how the minerals get extracted. So, Red Sea salt is the most premium and the most mineralized salt in the world. Why it is so premium and why it is most mineralized? Because it is extracted directly from the Red Sea and near Egypt, and it is always hand harvested. It never undergoes through machinery. It's always unrefined, and it has 82 plus minerals. So these minerals, out of all the periodic table, if you see like 82 minerals you are getting in a one salt rinse, so that's huge in terms of replenishing your oral cavity with the right amount of minerals, balancing them, and managing the oral microbiome of the oral cavity to keep the good bacteria pumped up so that they can suppress the bad bacteria in an optimal way so that there is a balance in your oral cavity. So that's why the highly mineralized, hand harvested, unrefined Red Sea salt containing the products like H2 Ocean mouthwash really makes a huge difference in the life of a patient who is dealing with challenges associated with the cancer treatment in the oral cavity.
Well, one of those challenges is that awful metallic taste. I hear people talk about that a lot, and I get it from one of the medications I take. And so I've noticed when I've used H2 Ocean that that metallic taste does get decreased significantly. But also my sense of dry mouth goes away. What's in H2 Ocean that happens? I find it kind of miraculous, to be honest. But what is in it that it works so well?
So there are a couple of reasons for that. The number one is that the H2 Ocean sea salt rinse is the only patented salt rinse in the world, and that contains the Red Sea salt. And as we mentioned previously, it contains 82 plus minerals that makes it very, very unique as compared to an homemade salt rinse. Secondly, this mouthwash also contains lysozyme. So the lysozyme is a natural enzyme present in human body secretions. So it is present in your lacrimal fluid, in your saliva, in mother's milk, in every human secretion. It's and part of an immune system. So this mouthwash also contains lysozyme and really helps in managing the antibacterial atmosphere inside the oral cavity in a natural way. So, and number third, it contains xylitol. So xylitol is a natural sweetener, and it's derived from vegetables and plants. So it makes the whole, and it is well proven in the dental industry for last 50 years. It prevents dental caries and helps in remineralization of the enamel surface. So in H2 Ocean mouth rinse, all these natural ingredients work synergistically to give that soothing, gentle effect that calms the irritated tissues, calms the ulcers, calms the mucositic lesions, and makes the oral cavity really calm, well balanced, and mitigate all the side effects commonly associated with the radiation therapy or chemotherapy. So, and as you mentioned, metallic taste is a huge thing. I mean, if you are not able to taste the food well or drink it, your choice of drink in a good way, you are not going to put up the nutrition which your body is required, especially at the time you are dealing with the, an active cancer treatment. And if you are not able to take that kind of food for your nutrition, the overall quality of life deteriorates. So that's why I always say that your oral cavity is not only fixed to your local region inside your mouth, but really it's an opening where you really given passage to the food, and the food gives you life. So it's very important to have your oral cavity in a very good shape.
Yeah.
In order to get a good nutrition and a good quality of life. And as you mentioned, your self-esteem is really high if you are good with your oral health.
Well, that is very important, but not just during active treatment, but after. I mean, one of the things that people that have had radiation talk about for years after, especially head and neck, is dry mouth. It just doesn't go away.
100%.
And that is a really irritating, aggravating sense to have all the time. While I have not thankfully experienced that, I have dry mouth from a medication I take. It's not to the same degree, but I have found that H2 Ocean really helps to mitigate that sense for hours, and also helps me to be able to talk for hours without interruption. And I find that extremely helpful. But you're right, Rajiv, it is very soothing. So what pulled you into H2 Ocean? Like, what made you really become enamored with this product?
Well, I can talk a little bit about why I can so much fascinated towards the whole product and the whole product range of skincare based on Red Sea salt. So one of the strongest reason is Eddie Colas, who is the CEO and the founder inventor of the whole concept of H2 Ocean line of business. And seeing his dedication and seeing his working towards, with a common goal and with a novel idea of helping human being in general towards giving them better products, giving them natural products, really fascinates the way he operates the whole business, not as a business point of view, but really to help as an helping hand to the people. So that's really a kind of a very great point for myself working for an organization that have a mission towards human health care in general. Secondly, I mean, right now the market is flooded with so many things through social media and through different kind of ways people want to propagate. But really, if you look around the pharmacy or if you look around in any grocery store or any convenience store, most of these products contains alcohols, colors, dyes, red, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. I mean, you imagine the color and you can find a mouth rinse available in the marketplace. So, and being a 15 to 20 years of experience in dentistry, in clinical active dentistry, and then followed by a hardcore, intense research experience working so many different labs and academic and research institutions, I'm always fascinated. Like, there should be a natural solution towards oral care, right? And why we are not giving the products that at least should not give any adverse effect to the people in general when they are using it. And I found that H2 Ocean is one of the company that really matters when it comes of choosing the ingredients, sourcing the ingredients, from where you are procuring your ingredients, how you process your ingredients, where you manufacturing your product, and how you take care of your customers as a whole, right? So that really attracts me towards H2 Ocean. Like, really, I want to be a part of this organization and become a helping hand to so many people around the world.
Thank you for tuning into the Everything Cancer podcast. We appreciate you being here with us. If you are finding this episode useful, please share it with others that you think would benefit. And don't forget to rate us with your favorite podcast platform. Please check out the show notes for more information and more information about our guests, links to their websites, and any other resources they've shared. We aim to make it easy for you to connect and learn more about the valuable insights shared in each episode. We welcome support through sponsors, the Everything Cancer website, and our Patreon page. Please stay tuned for a brief word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back to our episode. Thank you so much. Do you have a dry mouth that distracts you with that nasty feeling and taste? H2 Ocean has your solution, literally and figuratively, with its sea salt healing rinse. It's made from salt from the Red Sea, and it has other minerals that are beneficial to you in it. It also has lysozyme enzyme, which is soothing to the inside of your mouth, and xylitol, which makes your mouth water. It's very mild in flavor, yet refreshing. does not make you suck in your cheeks like often happens with other mouthwashes, and it stays with you. Other mouthwashes, they're gone in 10 or 15 minutes. This has stayed with me for a few hours now, and it's great. I plan on using it before every podcast episode to keep my mouth moist without taking distracting sips of tea and so on while I'm talking. The links to the H2 Ocean Sea Salt Healing Rinse will be in the show notes, and then a QR code also on the YouTube version of this podcast. It's excellent to help rinsing with chemo mouth or irritation in your mouth from radiation, but mouth sores and just general everyday use. I find it really pleasant and really helpful to use. I hope you do too. Thanks. Well, I mean, one of the things that we tell people now is to avoid processed foods.
Yep.
Both in cancer prevention, but also after one is treated with cancer to help prevent recurrence. That harkens back to what you're saying in terms of all the dyes that are currently out there in the products that are on the shelves. Now, you can find some that are dye-free, but this is very simple in its ingredients. And like you said, it's something that is very soothing, and it's meant to have good effects. It's meant to heal. It's meant to care. It's meant to keep the good bacteria and get rid of the bad bacteria and so on, help sore throats, just help with general mouth care. And I love what you're saying about all the years that you've spent in research, and that's one of the reasons. And by the way, for our audience, Rajiv sent me several pieces of research, evidence-based research concerning the ingredients that are in the H2 Ocean Salt Rinse. And this isn't just an advertisement for H2 Ocean Salt Rinse. This is also about good mouth care, taking care of yourself, taking care of your mouth. And that's part of self-image. That's part of feeling good. That's part of getting rid of that metallic taste in your mouth, and having good oral hygiene to take good care of yourself and feel better about yourself, which is so important at any point on the cancer journey. And as Rajiv said, hydration is very important. So anytime when you're in active treatment and your appetite is decreased, or you have bouts of nausea and you take opportunity when you don't have nausea to eat, helping yourself in any way you can to decrease your sense of dry mouth, sense of metallic mouth, use H2 Ocean or something like it. But H2 Ocean is really put together very well to help you optimize your good moments for eating and for drinking. So how does lysozyme work? I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Lysozyme is, as I mentioned, is a natural antibacterial enzyme. So what it does is that it reacts with the bacterial cell wall and causes cell lysis, and the microbes associated with the oral infection, they die in a subtle way, so that the good bacteria keeps their number up and the bad bacteria get affected with that. Now, the reason why lysozyme works in a better way as compared to an alcohol-based mouthwash is that alcohol kills both good and bad bacteria. So in that way, your whole microbiome get affected in the mouth. So that we don't want. We want the good ones to be in the mouth all the time, right? And we want their numbers should go up and the bad ones should drop down. And that's the reason. I mean, the lysozyme really works as a natural antibacterial component, and it really helps in. Secondly is that when you talk about efficacy, safety is also one of the great concerns. So if you have an alcohol-based mouthwash, so it's safe, but it's not 100% safe because it contains alcohol, right? So if accidentally you ingested, so it will be an issue to you, right? But H2 Ocean has all clean and clear ingredients. Even if you ingest accidentally or intentionally, it's not going to harm you because it's all natural and there is nothing to worry about that. I mean, I just want to add a light note to that. Eddie used to drink it every couple of days because when he has some, abdomen issues or you have disturbed tummy, you can sip in a little bit because it's like you are drinking a salt water. So efficacy and safety it's a major thing here. And when we discuss about safety, so we have 5 to 6 clinical studies done on its safety point of view in a regular oral hygiene basis. So that's really gives you a kind of a trust you really need while accepting any product in your lifestyle. So that's make a huge difference. Choosing the right, the right equipment, choosing the right product for you will really makes your life much more better, and will not complicate and will not intertwine with your other issues you are dealing with. So people don't understand in general, like, a mouthwash is a mouthwash, it doesn't matter, right? No, it does matters a lot. It goes in between your teeth, below the gum line, and really helps in balancing your oral cavity in the right perspective.
Because if you, I think most mouthwashes now are alcohol free to so that there's not alcohol products with alcohol in them on store shelves. They're not necessarily healthy for you. They're just there. Whereas the H2 Ocean is healthy for you. I think a lot of the mouthwashes are there to help clean your teeth better, but are they there to bathe all the tissue in your mouth to help it just do better, to naturally have the right balance? And like you said, the lysozyme, I didn't realize that's how it worked. I had no idea. So I appreciate that explanation. I feel really safe picking that up now and using it from how you explained it. I know that when I use regular mouthwash, that burst of flavor that's there, it's gone, in that sense of fresh breath. It's gone in 15 minutes. You don't feel it after a little while. It's gone. Yeah. Whereas the H2 Ocean stays with you for a long time, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's there. So I feel like it's really doing its job, and it's nice to know the lysozyme is working. How do the additional minerals that are in it from the red sea salt benefit the tissues in the mouth from the research that you've done?
So talking about the minerals, I mean, if you look upon, whenever you feel, I can give you kind of a practical point of view towards in real life scenario, and then I can correlate that to your oral cavity. So if you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling sad, or if you are feeling yourself in a very low mood in your life, you go towards the ocean, you walk towards the ocean side, have a dip in the ocean, spend some time, you always feel rejuvenate, right? You always feel like there's a life connected towards the ocean. And it's not only about the scenic beauty of the ocean, right? So it's more towards how we all are connected towards the ocean, because 70% of the world is water, right? 70% of our body is water. So we have a very strong connection with the water. So, and the minerals, and the water contains minerals, right? The water contains micro elements. And similarly, when you use mouthwash that has 82 plus minerals, your oral cavity feels so relaxed, so calm, because it is replenished again and again by the same minerals which your body is constituents made of. Now, all the minerals like zinc, bromide, iron, gold, copper, nickel, in silver, iron, in a very micro units work together in order to give that kind of mineralful impact in a very gentle way, that you really feel it like, yes, I'm refilling my oral cavity back with the minerals. It's the same way you are charging your phone, right? So you have to charge your phone. You are not, you put that energy, the good vibes into that, and you feel really replenished. And these minerals work in a very synergistic way, and you cannot pump yourself with a one particular minerals or element in an excessive way. You can't overdose yourself. So that's why in nature everything is balanced. In ocean everything is balanced. So in the same way, the Red Sea salt contains 82 plus minerals, and they are so well balanced in terms of their constituency, in terms of their quantity, in terms of their quality, Like they work absolutely perfectly well. And that's why people who are using the natural Red Sea salt based mouthwash, they can feel that connection of mineralization and soothing oral cavity when they start using it.
It sounds to me like it's a spa day for your mouth.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yes.
A meditation session, right?
Yeah.
No, it does. The way you described it. Oh, so you get to send your mouth to the spa every
Yeah.
time you use it.
Yes. Yes. 100%. That's.
I love it, Rajiv. I really do. Maybe that should be your new tagline. Spa day for your mouth.
Yeah, I like it. Definitely will use it.
So whether or not it's a great product, whether or not you are a cancer survivor, it's a good product for anybody to use.
Yes.
It really is. But gentle mouth care is a good thing to do no matter what. And for, and using a soft toothbrush, not a hard toothbrush, and good oral care is a good thing to practice for anyone, no matter who you are, no matter what your health background is. It's really important to you to do to maintain your health and to feel good about yourself and feel good in approaching people every day and just having more energy and taking good care of yourself. Is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you would like to talk about?
Yes, I want to say that like this mouthwash, as you mentioned, it's for daily use. So irrespective of you are dealing with an active cancer treatment or done with your cancer cycle, it doesn't matter. It's a daily oral rinse you can use every day. It's 100% safe. A baby from a 2-year child to 90-year person. There's a huge range. There's no restrictions in terms of age is concerned because it's 100% safe. Another thing that is that we are also focused very much towards cancer community as a whole, and the CEO of the company, Eddie Colas, has also made a commitment of donating one mouthwash bottle to any cancer hospitals, organizations, NGOs who really want a kind of supporting help from us. So we are always open to help any organizations, hospitals that really want the products for their patients. For every 2 bottles sold, we donate one bottle to these organizations as a part of our corporate community responsibility. So we are very much open, and through your broader media and through your coverage, we really want to pass this message, Jill. Like any hospital, please contact us, please contact Jill, or reach to our corporate website, drop a message there, and someone from our team will definitely reach out to you in a 24 hours and set up an way of sending samples on your way. So we are 100% focused towards community service as a whole.
I really love your approach. I met Eddie with you in a meeting. He is a very sincere person. He started this by being very involved as a surfer and spending a lot of time in the sea and developing products for people that spend a lot of time in salt water, and has developed his products, as you talked about, Rajiv, through that. And he's just a regular guy. I mean, very sincere in his approach. And if you look at his other products on Amazon,
Yes.
Or other online stores, they are 5 stars ratings through years. His products are very well rated. So
Yes.
I trust them. But anyway,
Yes.
time tells the story with the products for sure. The contact information for Rajiv and for H2 Ocean will be on the show notes for here for anybody who would like to reach out. It'll be very easy. There will be a link, and also on our YouTube channel, Everything Cancer YouTube channel, which I'm proud to have up and running now. Rajiv, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm great. I'm so happy and grateful to know you, and so happy to have H2 Ocean as a sponsor. But that's not why we had you here today. We had you here to talk about your product, which I think is a great product, but also to talk about why mouth care is so important and how to take care of your mouth. So thank you for your time here and your expertise.
Yes. Thank you, Jill. It's an honor to be a guest on your podcast, and we appreciate everything you do towards cancer care and survivorship as a whole. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm happy. I'm happy to be in this space. I really am. I'm happy to, and thank you to our listeners for being here. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Everything Cancer podcast. We hope you found the conversation as insightful and as inspiring as we did. Remember, all the details about our guest, including their contact information and links to resources they've shared on their websites, will be included in the show notes. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider supporting us by visiting our website, checking out our Patreon page, or becoming a sponsor. Your support helps us to continue to bring you these important discussions. Don't forget to subscribe to the Everything Cancer podcast on your favorite platform and follow us on social media. Always remember, the information shared here is not intended as medical advice. For any personal health concerns, please consult with your healthcare team. Thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to having you back with us again next time. And for anybody that you have invited to join us, please reach out if you would like to be a sponsor. We would welcome you. Thank you.